Hello, I'm Darlene, and I'm a teacher with VIPKID. What do I do for VIPKID? I teach English language instruction one-to-one online with students in China. What are the pros and cons of working for them? Pros, you can make up to $22 an hour. So the way that works is you start with a base pay for each half hour. So you can make between $7 and $9 per half hour. My base pay is $8. If I show up and teach an online class, I get an additional $1 for that half hour. So really I'm at $9. If someone books a short notice class, so that means if someone books a class with me less than 24 hours before that class starts, I get an additional $2 for that class. That bumps me up to $11. Then, because I've taught more than 45 classes this month, I get an additional $1 for each class that I taught. So that's an additional $1 per half hour. So really, I could make up to $12 per half hour, which is really more than the $22 maximum that they say. So yes, so I do make up to 22 or more than $22 an hour. I will be doing another video if you are Canadian and you decide to work for a VIPKID. You don't want your money transferred directly into your Canadian account because you will get dinged fees, and also the exchange rate is terrible when you do it that way. Bonuses. Well, I kind of just told you about the bonuses. It's incentives, it's bonuses. There are some other bonuses once you're with them. No prep. Basically, I open up the material, I take a look at it, and I can start teaching right away. I may grab a few props that I have around the house to help me with my lesson, but basically the lesson is there. In a drop-down menu, it says called teaching tips, but basically it just tells you what to do. It will say, student reads this sentence, teacher asks this question. It's pretty straightforward. It's very, very easy. No prep. Scheduling. Schedule, it's when you want to teach. If you are looking for a 9-to-5 job, this is not for you. I am on Eastern Standard Time, so if you live in Toronto, you're also on Eastern Standard Time. And you are, well actually, as of right now, Beijing time is 12 hours ahead of us. That might change when the clocks go back shortly, but just by an hour. Anyway, so if you want to teach a 9-to-5 job, this is not for you because kids will be sleeping from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. and you're not going to get any bookings. And in fact, the Chinese government has just implemented a new curriculum not allowing students or not allowing children to do any e-learning after 9 p.m. That was a problem. So let's get back to your schedule. You can block off the times you want to teach, the times you don't want to teach. For example, this morning I taught for 3 hours between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m., which was absolutely perfect for me because I want to teach before my little twin babies, who are awesome, before they wake up. So this allows me to stay at home a little bit longer than the 12 months I originally planned to take off after they were born. And I can basically teach from home. I'm done by 9 a.m. and I get to spend the day with my kids. It's perfect for me. I could see it being working really well for a grad student, especially someone in teacher's college, because you can make money before you go to your classes. You could also work on weekends. And then you also have teaching experience. You can add this to your resume, which is fantastic. If you want to take a holiday, you just block off that week. No one can book you. It's pretty easy. Location. Location is awesome. I'm in my house. I don't have to get in my car, I don't have to drive anywhere in rush hour, and I don't have to find parking. It is awesome. Also awesome about location is if you like to travel, as long as you have internet that is reliable where you are traveling, you can work from any location. You basically just fold up a map, pack it up in your suitcase, throw it up behind you, wherever you are, and that's your educational background, and you can teach. Okay, the kids. I know I put it last on the list, but it's really not last. Some of the regular kids that I have are just awesome. You do run into kids that don't want to be there and they don't want to learn. And yes, those 25-minute lessons seem longer than 25 minutes. Most of the 25-minute lessons that I teach fly by, and the kids really, really are awesome. They really are. So those are my pros. Cons. I have to write them down. Cons. You need to have a good internet connection. You need to be able to teach a lesson without any internet disruption. If you have an internet disruption on your end and you lose 3 minutes of that lesson, you don't get paid for that lesson. So make sure you have a strong internet connection. If you can plug it right into your computer or laptop, that's great. If not, make sure you have strong Wi-Fi. Next, time difference. Now, I mentioned that earlier. This is not your 9-to-5 job, but that's a pro for me. It might be a con for somebody else. Now, like I said, time difference, Eastern Standard Time. Beijing is currently 12 hours ahead of us. Now, if you live on the West Coast, and you're 3 hours behind us, you are teaching lessons super early in the morning. So that could be a negative thing if you live out west. Bookings. Once you start teaching with VIPKID, you're waiting for bookings. You can open up your schedule, and it might take a while to get some students. You have your profile, and you create a little profile video. Well, my original profile video was very scripted. Hi, my name is Darlene. It was 15 seconds long. It was pretty boring. So I wasn't getting very many bookings. So then what I did is I made a more interesting video that I thought would appeal both to parents and students. And within a few days of posting that, I got a lot of bookings. Actually, there was one morning I woke up and I checked my VIPKID app, and that night I had 24 new bookings, and I was just like, woohoo! I was so excited because I actually was getting very discouraged about not getting bookings right away. For all the slots that I've opened up, I am booked solid. The first day I've actually blocked off is this coming Monday, just because I do need a day. But other than that, I really do work every morning, and I enjoy it. Another con, taxes. Taxes, you know, you've got to pay taxes. Now, the reason it's a con on this is because typically when you're an employee, your taxes are taken off and you get your net pay. The money you get from VIPKID is your gross pay. So you actually will need to remember to put some money aside because you will have to pay taxes on what you made. Don't forget to do that. So in the end, you're scrambling to find the money that you've already spent that you should have saved for taxes. I need to interrupt myself because I need to add one more con, and it's a pretty big one. VIPKID has a very strict cancellation policy. The way it works is if you cancel a booking less than 2 hours before that class starts, you have to pay VIPKID $10 for those classes. If you cancel a booking less than 24 hours before that class starts, but more than 2 hours, you pay $2 for those classes that you missed. You pay VIPKID for missing those classes. If you are not a very organized person and you think you may miss a class here or there, this is probably not for you, because if you don't show up to a class, it's considered a teacher no-show, and it counts the same as canceling a class less than 2 hours before it starts. You will pay VIPKID $10 for each of those classes that you don't show up to. If you wake up with a cold, push through it and keep teaching your lessons. If you wake up and you are seriously sick or you have no voice and you can't teach, make sure you're going to be able to get to the doctor and get a doctor's note, because then you can apply for something called soft cancellation. You have, I believe it's 30 days after you cancel a class to apply for a soft cancellation. I've canceled my classes one morning, and one of my girls was up all night. She was teething, she was crying. It was constantly back in the crib, me holding her, back in the crib, me holding her. I ended up sleeping on the floor in their room. When my alarm went off, I only had a couple of hours of sleep, and I probably would have pushed through it because I don't even have to leave the house. I could just come to the room and teach, but my daughter was still fussy, and I didn't want my husband to have to get out of bed to pick her up and hold her because he also had to go to work. So I decided that I would just pay the cancellation fees and just stay with my daughter. If you are a healthy person and an organized person, this really shouldn't be much of an issue for you. It really isn't an issue for me. Even though it's a strict cancellation policy, I can understand why they have it. VIPKID has 90,000 teachers. If they didn't have a strict cancellation policy, I think they would have a lot of people canceling, and that would really impact their business. When VIPKID hires you, they hire you as an independent contractor. So you get a contract from them. Make sure you read it thoroughly. It does outline the strict cancellation policy in the contract, and just make sure you read everything in it so that you know what you're signing up for. The contract is a 6-month contract, and you can renew it again when the 6 months is over, as long as VIPKID wants you back. So those are my pros and cons. For me, the pros far outweigh the cons. I really do like working for this company. I really enjoy it. And if you do decide to sign up, I would appreciate if you would use my referral code. I get a one-time bonus if you sign up with my referral code. It's not a pyramid. I don't get a percentage of your wage. I don't get a percentage of any referrals that you get. This is just a one-time bonus. You'll get a job, I'll get a referral. Yay! If you decide to use it, my referral code is DARLE0051. Or you can click on my link below. That will take you directly in. It will say, Darlene has invited you, and you create a username and a password, and you can go in that way. I would appreciate this if you can. And if you do work for VIPKID, it really is a great company. Good luck, and check out the rest of my videos. Thanks.